Okay, Cursor just dropped version 1.2, and we are going to have a look at it today, specifically on the to-do capability that they have released. So yeah, let's see if we can improve our productivity with to-dos. So quickly going through the changelog from July 3rd, we see that they have introduced to-dos. The way it works is very similar to Taskmaster. If you ask Cursor now, it's going to create a plan, and it's going to create a bunch of to-dos, which kind of makes sense because if you break the work down into smaller chunks, obviously the output is going to be always much better. So we will try that with 2 prompts, very simple one, and then I'm going to try with more comprehensive, like a PRD document, product requirement document, and we will see how it actually goes and if it delivers what we are expecting it to deliver. The other feature is the queued messages. So this is pretty awesome because previously, while the engine was running, the LLM was writing code, you weren't really able to queue any other messages. So once the LLM finishes the first task, it can go to the next one. Now you can do that. So while it's working, you can queue up more to-dos. So as you can see in this video here, someone is adding more options to the JSON file and so on. Very, very cool. Should increase productivity. And then memories. So the ability to ask Cursor to memorize things that we don't like or the things that we like it to do more. It's GA now, so it's available to everyone, and we will see if we get a chance to test this today. Just to set some context, to-dos or tasks are not really a new concept when it comes to working in Cursor. Taskmaster was the first, I believe, and the only one that I know of, kind of a capability that lived mainly in your terminal, CLI, where it would help you organize your project, create separate tasks, find dependencies between those tasks, and so on. It was a little bit of a setup in the past, but currently you can actually use an MCP server, which Taskmaster provides. You can just copy this to your JSON file in Cursor, set up all the API keys. So one, you need the API keys. You will not be able to just use your Cursor subscription for this to work. You need a separate API key to whatever service you want to use. So that's first drawback using Taskmaster, but it's very powerful. I'm not expecting Cursor to-dos at this point to be as powerful as Taskmaster, but still, it's very convenient to have that directly embedded in your IDE, and you're pretty much not paying anything extra for it. So let's have a look at the environment we will be working on, and yeah, let's do some work. Okay, so we will pick from where my recent video kind of ended with the application that we've built using kind of a template from ShadCN. So I'm going to show you how this looks like. I do want to run this first so you can have a look. And we will probably go and change the color scheme for it as well. Because so this is the one that we quickly put together. We did use a custom theme because out of the box, you're getting a slightly different experience when it comes to the ShadCN components. But this is all ShadCN. If you want to learn how to get a default ShadCN app built in like 2 minutes and then go and customize it so it looks that weird as this one is, just go and watch that video. I'm going to put a link somewhere. But let's actually change this theme so we can work with something that looks more, that can be in production. Well, maybe this could be, but let's actually pick one. Move myself here. Let's see. So the bubblegum is the one that we're using. I'm going to pick one that I actually use at work as well. So we have a design system at work. So I'm going to use this color theme. It's very corporate, but it has a light and dark mode as well. So I'm going to use that. So I'll just quickly show you how it's done. We are going to pick, I believe Tailwind 4 is what I'm using in the application. And then just copy this, go back to Cursor. If you want to learn more how to do that in depth, just go and watch that previous video. What we have to do here, just replace the root dark and then the theme inline. Let me just delete that. Paste the new one. Save that and see. There you go. So that has replaced all the colors, corners, and all the rest. So again, go and watch that previous video if you want to learn how to do that quickly and make your generic ShadCN website, whatever you're using, Figma Make, V0, Lovable, Firebase Studio, they all pretty much use SHA-CN. But you don't have to have a default one. You can go and customize that. So anyway, we'll do first a small task, and then we will try and do a more kind of a comprehensive product requirement document fed into Cursor, and we will see how it performs with this new to-do capability. So I'll see you there. Okay, so first I'm going to show you the two prompts. So the first one is just a prompt. There's not going to be any context. The second one is a short prompt, but with a lot of context. So let's just copy the first one here. Let's pick our Cloud 4, obviously. What I'm asking Cursor to do is just embed kind of a toggle between dark and light mode. And I'm asking it to place that in this section here, settings. We'll see what happens. I'm just curious about the to-dos, how it looks like, and yeah, see where it takes us. Let's see if we can add any files. Let's actually add the application sidebar just to give it more context. I believe it's the navigation secondary as well, and the main sidebar component from here. One tip, it's not about prompts really, it is about the context. So as much context as you can give Cursor, the better. So anyway, I'm gonna probably close this, zoom in, so we can actually look at the chat interface here. Yeah, see what happens. Okay, so it's already updating to-do list. Oh, nice. So we have 7. Okay, so we have 7 tasks. This shouldn't take long. So it has 7 tasks. It's going to install the theme. Oh, that's annoying. It just keeps collapsing. Sorry about that. It's not my fault. Okay. So it has the tasks. It has the first task being executed. So it is installing the next themes package. That is correct. That's what you would have to do. Then it's creating the toggle. So that is the first task. No, that is the second task, sorry. So the first one has been created. That's a little bit confusing, but that is okay. I really like this kind of approach, splitting it into simple tasks and then executing. Linter error, pretty standard stuff. Third task, and it's crossing it off as well. It's reading the component that we have given it. Okay, so it is still working, it's generating. If I click on here, so we can see all the tasks and we can see where it currently is. So we can see that it is at the task number 4, add theme toggle to nav secondary data and app sidebar .tsx. Nice. So it's not going really in kind of an order, I guess. It just picks wherever it needs to go. Okay, so it's updating layout as well to include the theme provider. That's very accurate. That's nice that it knew to do that. Okay, so it says that it's adding dark mode CSS variables. I do have already dark mode variables. So hopefully it's not going to override anything. So we've got our root and we have our dark as well. These ones here. So hopefully it's not going to override it. Let's see. Yeah. That's really nice. I like the UI of the to-dos. Very cool. Obviously generating just shows you where it currently is, how many lines of code it added and removed. That's pretty standard. Pretty awesome. Yeah, that's a very cool feature that definitely should help with productivity, especially when it comes to very complicated tasks. Okay, so it's thinking that it needs to add the dark theme. We'll see what happens there. Hopefully it's going to read the CSS and see that there is a dark one. It is a bit slow. I think it's just the connection. Okay, so it's reading global CSS. Fingers crossed. You can always reject, obviously. Just don't disappoint me. Come on. Nice. Okay, so I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. Sorry about that. Okay, so what it did, yeah, so it recognized that there is a dark theme. So well done, Cursor. And now it's running the server. Again, it always does that. So this is actually a good example how we can use memories, because it is very eager to just run the environment every single time. And the way I work, I almost always have my environment running, especially when it's an Next.js application. We obviously got a summary as well. So let's try the memory. I'll show you if this actually works or not. Okay, so it says that it will not provide. Let me actually check that. If you go to memories, so it should be in rules and memories. If we go to review one pending memory, user prefers that the assistant not provide summaries in responses. I hope it's readable on your screen. And then you can either save the memory or decline it. That's a very awesome feature. So next time it shouldn't probably just use all the tokens writing all this. That is one thing. Let's actually create one more memory. Okay, so I did ask it not to run the development environment, because my development environment is always kind of running when I'm working with Next.js applications. And yeah, it is asking me to accept that it will not run the npm run dev command. So I am going to accept that. And we have now two memories, which is pretty awesome. Well done, Cursor. Well done. Good stuff. Let's have a look at the theme toggle changes in the web application. Okay, so this is our application, obviously with our corporate theme and so on. And we did ask Cursor to place the toggle here at the bottom of the this component. This is a different site navigation component, the whole thing. So dark mode, there we go. Very nice. Very, very nice. And then light mode. That is pretty awesome. Okay, so that is like a very, very simple task. You can probably just do that in a minute. Next one is going to be way more complicated. We will see. I think it's going to fail, but yeah, let's go and see what happens. I'm going to show you first what we are working with. Okay, so I have created a product requirement document, PRD, which is going to ask Cursor to build a page, a theme page with two components, which is a table component and a card component, which is going to list multiple users with their avatars and so on. So not the most complicated when it comes to like building it. Obviously, you can do that, but I do want to see how it's going to break this down into to-dos, its tasks. So the PRD is kind of comprehensive to what it needs to actually be, but I do want to see how it's going to handle quite a bit of context as well, and if it's not going to get lost. So we have a section about the user experience, who is it for, a few details. I am going to ask it also to do some architecture work, front-end architecture work. I am pointing it to where the components I would like to be stored and the folders and subfolders being created. So there is quite a lot. There's quite a lot that is here. So yeah, we'll see how it works. The other thing that I will add as a context is a simple sketch, a layout. That's just done by ChatGPT. Obviously, you don't have to do that, but might help. You never know. So that's one. That's the second one, and then the card layout. If you had like a proper sketch or maybe a Figma file, although I don't think you need Figma at this point for this work, you should definitely do that and add as much context as possible. And then the prompt that we will use is just this one here, which is using the attach PRD, which is that document for the theme feature and the two sketch images, the table view and card view, plan a step-by-step front-end implementation, plan including component breakdown, state, data flow, theming with ShadCN, next theme, and more. So let me just put everything in the prompt, and we'll take it from there. Okay, so we have our prompt ready. The prompt is not the most comprehensive one, but the context actually matters. So we have the PRD document here. We've got 3 JPEGs that show the stupid sketches, 2 logos as well, or 1 logo in dark and light mode that the PRD is also asking Cursor to add to the application itself. And then also the README document for the application. That usually helps as well, especially, and this is more of a tip for you now, you can always ask the LLM to generate an application structure explaining exactly what the file is for. that definitely can help as more context. And again, it really comes down to context. It doesn't really come down to the prompt itself. So I'm gonna actually close that so we can have a look at the to-do section in more detail. If this takes way too long, I'm just gonna probably turn my camera off and speed the process up, and then we can have a look at the result. But in the beginning, let's just run it. Okay, so it's reading everything. It's reading the application itself, the component, table component, looking at the dependencies in the package.json as well to understand the application. It is looking at the theme, different types of components that we have, the UI components from ShadCN, then the application structure, and so on. So that's pretty typical for a cursor. So understands, and now it's creating the to-do list. Okay, so we have 15. Let's actually scroll down here. It shows you the plan. So it shows you the tasks or the to-dos at the top. There's 15 of them. And then it describes what those tasks actually mean. It confirms the breakdown of the components as well here, which is pretty awesome. Perfect, optimistic updates to the UI. That's really nice. The data itself. Okay, so it's gonna fetch the users from the API. We'll see how that works. I was hoping it's gonna just use some dummy data, but that is okay. If it fails, that's fine. We can fix that. And it is looking at the existing patterns. Great. Perfect. So these are the tasks here. This implementation plan provides a solid foundation. Perfect. Do it. Let's go. Okay, so it's installing Framer Motion for the transition between table and card layout. Very nice. So it is not going in order. So that's very interesting. I think it kind of understands the dependencies. I think it definitely does because it's defining TypeScript interface and the result schema for user data structure. So it does that before the front end work. Makes sense. Then it goes, creates the logo component. It's really nice to see that it is actually doing this task. I like that animation. Very cool. So there's a lot. I think I'm going to just speed this up. And then I'll see you when it's ready. Okay, this is our website. Let's see. So we have our logo here at the top. That's correct. Let's have a look at the dark mode works. Dark mode works. Very nice. And let's actually look at the theme page. There it is. So there was a loader. Not sure if you have seen, but that loader pattern has been added as well. That is pretty awesome. Very simple UI, obviously, just a table. So we'll look at the card layout. Nice transition using Framer Motion. Card layout. It would be nice to see some avatars here, but you can obviously add that as well and make the card a little bit more interesting. See what else we can do here. We should be able to remove a user. So delete a user. So there is no dialog implemented yet, but we can do that. It wasn't the PRD. So if I click that, remove the user, and there is also a notification at the bottom. And we should also be able to edit the user. So I can change the name of the user. Sorry about that. Email and change the role, save changes. So Sarah has changed now to, well, Sarah has changed to Sarah. And then the role has changed as well. Actually, if I refresh, yeah, so it is just storing it temporarily. There is no database. Obviously, we can ask the LLM to do that for us. What else? The ad user is not implemented. We can do that next. So yeah, there it is. 15 tasks. That's what it used to create this. It's pretty functional, I must say. Yeah, and you know, you can go from here, start adding more functionality, making the cards more cooler looking, like making sure that the table is also an attractive table. It works, obviously, in an enterprise corporate environment, definitely would work. So yeah, there you go. To-dos in Cursor. Is it a Taskmaster killer? Probably not. Taskmaster still is very powerful. But yeah, still very nice to see so much progress from the Cursor team, and I'm really looking forward to the future. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, thumbs down. Doesn't matter. Put a comment if you like. Check out other videos on my channel. There's not that many yet, but I'm working on producing more and more content, hopefully valuable content. And yeah, like and subscribe. I don't say that enough in my videos. I was told to say that, so subscribe if you want to hear more about vibe coding, assisted coding, prototyping, creating UIs, hacking AIs, and just being a little bit more productive. So thanks for watching, and I'm going to see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.